Just when I thought I couldn't find my way out, yeah, I searched the God in me to find my way out. I know it can seem way out, but the Creator flows to and through me from way out. I'm talking way out, yeah, yeah, yeah. See, if you believe in the God in you, it's a better place. Creating the force and the power to live a better. Just know that love and joy and peace is one in all of the same space. That you were chosen just like God. That's right. Only you can make the change. Shake your head at you. Shine so bright from darkness to light. Hey, hey, hey. From darkness to light. Yeah. And you'll find your way out. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it won't seem way out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The power of God will flow through you from way out. You'll feel it from deep within, and from there you can begin. From darkness to light, from darkness to light.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm your host, DJ Genesis. This is Optimizing Energy, and today we are going to be diving a little bit deeper into this whole ICE situation. And I asked the question of what is the true purpose of ICE? Reason why, last night when I had the conversation, when I was talking to everybody, everybody's like, well, you're black. Us FBAs or us black people, we need to stay out of it. It ain't none of our business. We don't need to be worried about that. This ain't got nothing to do with us. I'm gonna tell you what. Right now, it don't got nothing to do with us. But as time is going on, you're seeing more black people, people of color, even white people that are not immigrants, United States citizens that are not immigrants, getting caught in the crossfire, and they're all not uh being protesting. It's some people that's just getting caught up and hey, like that father, the father that had his child taking his child from a basketball game, him and his wife, him and his 6 kids, coming from a basketball game, turned down the wrong street, and next thing you know, you got a flash bomb hitting you. And then apparently there's also they're using some illegal types of stuff, the actual chemicals that they're using. It's not even it's like a different type of a chemical. Blessings, Dr. Dennis Assar. If anybody wants to come up, this is definitely an open panel. As I discuss this, all of my panels are open. This is very much a dialogue. It's just not me talking to you. It's a group thing. So if anybody wants to come up and give their opinion, please feel free to hit the button. Hit the button. So yesterday it kind of bothered me. So I get it that people are saying black people need to stay out of this. This isn't our fight. We don't need to be bothered with it. You know what I'm saying? However, when I went to bed, I said, you know what? I don't know. Something is just not sitting right to just ignore this whole thing. Because you don't want to be one of the people that, you were just completely oblivious, and next thing you know, a flash bomb hits your front door, and you're like, what the heck is going on? And then now you got to catch up with the news. You got to catch up with the information and figure out, well, man, my door just got hit with a flash bomb. What's going on? And now you got to catch up, So I think it's dumb to just be like, no, we need to ignore this. We ain't got nothing to do with this. Ain't us. We don't have nothing to do with this. And so we just need to mind our business. I don't think that's a smart thing to do. Okay. So I wanted to really get into this ICE situation And I wanted to like, okay, figure out, because the bottom line is that it seemed like there's something off with how this whole thing is going. Like I'm following the money. You know, whenever you have a situation like this that seems kind of psyopish, you have to look at where the money is going and see exactly what is going on. What is the purpose? Where are we going with all this? Because some people will say, well, once they get done with them, they're gonna come after us. And then you got some people saying, well, no, this is what I voted for, you know. And I'm like, okay, what exactly did you vote for? Did you vote for ICE to be whooping everybody's behind, or them just to be focused on the illegal immigrants that are criminals, or is it just everybody that don't look like you need to go? You know, if it's a Mexican, if it's a Caribbean, if it's an African, everybody need to go out of this country except for blacks and whites. Is that what black people want? FBA wants? We want everybody, Caribbean, Asian, everybody out of this country. Only body left, not even Native Americans, because they getting caught up in this whole thing too. That's the part that's interesting now. And that's what made me have to start thinking, like, there's something deeper going on here. Because when you're seeing that they're partnering up with law enforcement and giving them and offering them like $12 million, $25 million, they're offering people $50 million sign-up bonus, but the whole thing is sign-up is like a 5-year contract that you get paid $10,000 when you first join. But if you fall out of standing or you leave ICE or whatever for any reason, you owe the $10,000 back. So if you work for ICE and that little $50,000 they offer, it's a $10,000 bonus for each year that you're on the ICE police force. If you for any reason, you know, get kicked off of ICE, you owe the money back. So it's almost like a recording industry contract. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like having a contract with you know what I'm saying? A 360 deal or something like that. The whole thing is just that when you look at it, the whole thing is fishy. And so I said, you know, I did some research. I looked into it. I said, let's break down what is the true purpose of ICE. Because it's one thing to show the terrible things that's going on, what they're doing, but let's really break down where is the money coming from? What is really going on? You know? Hey, what's up, young Riz? Where is the money coming from? Somebody says nothing deep about it. They have to reverse tens of millions of illegals. See, people are just so simple. You know, they don't think about it past that go. It's not just all they're just here to get rid of the illegal. Them damn illegal. Them damn illegal. Them damn Mexicans. You know, that's all everybody thinks it's about. The Mexicans taking over our jobs. Honey, the construction site empty as hell right now. Ain't nobody went over to that construction site to say, I'll go ahead and finish up the job. They got 3 people over there. Taking our jobs. Honey, I ain't trying to do them jobs. Anyway, so let's go into it. You know, I want to start off. I'm trying to think of where I want to start off at. Let's go here. Because I've been doing a lot of research, just trying to understand what is happening.
Found this scrolling on social media. Let me know what y'all think about this.
What Americans are dealing with right now is not the 1930s. It's not Germany. It's not the Gestapo. It is the South. The Civil War was never fully resolved. This struggle and the divide between Americans that we are seeing right now is 100% the Christian nationalist South versus the rest of America. It is the South versus the Union all over again. And that is a fundamental reality that I think a lot of us need to start acknowledging sooner rather than later. ICE does not behave like the Gestapo. ICE behaves like the police department. And where does the police come from? They come from the slave-catching industry that rose up when slaves were escaping to the Union, when there was a, I guess, proto-Balkanization of the United States. And half of the United States was operating with one set of laws and one set of ethics, and the other half of the United States was operating with another. all of it inevitably culminating into a massive civil war. And that is the same exact thing that we are seeing today. Because the thing we have to realize about 1930s Germany is that they were overwhelmingly popular. The Yahtzee Party was popular. A vast majority of Germany supported their ideologies and what they were doing. And yes, we can definitely glean a lot of insight into what's currently happening by finding those parallels to what happened in the 30s, but that's not what's happening now. We are in Civil War Part 2, Electric Boogaloo, The Reckoning. We never actually punished the South. We never actually illegalized slavery. We simply transformed these things and then told the people of the South to operate covertly. We told people with those bigoted ideologies and those highly classist ideologies to operate more covertly if they wanted to operate within the American system. Because at the end of the day, slavery was and continues to be insanely profitable for the United States. But because we did not pluck those weeds out, root and stem the weeds of slavery and racism, they are growing and they have overgrown the garden once again. And unless we acknowledge that that is what's happening, and then use this opportunity to seek to pluck those weeds out of the garden once and for all, they will only continue to regrow in cycle. Germany was not divided in the way the United States is. Germany was united behind the Reich. We are not united behind Christian fascism. We are not united behind Donald Trump. We are incredibly divided. And because of that, there is a very slim chance of anybody making it out of this. There is going to be a massive power struggle because without the will of the people, this cannot go on indefinitely. What we are headed for is more than likely civil war.
Let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments section.
So are we headed for a civil war? That's the question. People want to call the ICE the Gestapo. They want to call it the slave catchers, this, that, is all, whatever. So what my question in this whole thing is, what exactly is ICE? What are they really, what is the end goal with all this? Because it seems to me they are not, initially when this whole thing first started, it was like, well, we're trying to get rid of all the criminal people, right? The Venezuelans are going into the neighborhoods and they're attacking people, they're bringing the drugs, they're doing this, they're doing that, you know what I'm saying? But when I think about it, right, Trump is going after Greenland. He wants to get Canada, he wants to get Mexico. If we're trying to have a one big old like unified North America and with Mexico, Canada, and the United States in the center, and this is supposed to be one big old land and one big huge country, then why would you need ICE? If this is what the goal is, if you're trying to get Canada to jump on board and come and unite and become one with America, and you're trying to get Mexico to become one, that was the initial thing, right? He was like he wanted Mexico to come aboard with America. So why would you do? What is this? What is this going on here? Because they're definitely targeting Latinos and Mexicans. Okay, I think it's like 4,000 people. I'm not sure how many people have gotten, but they seem like they're like kind of focused on South Americans, Mexicans, stuff like that. You know, Venezuelans, right? Didn't he just bomb Venezuela and now he's going to take that over? So I'm trying to understand, like, what is really going on here? You know, and maybe there's some things I'm missing. If anybody knows, please come up. You know, please come up. If anybody else knows what this might be. Somalians, okay, didn't we bring them here? Didn't we rescue them and bring them and give them asylum? Now all of a sudden we're mad. We want to kick them out of the country. Yeah, they did this and they did that. Hey, people be scared. Man, when them PPP loans came out, everybody was scamming on that stuff. So stop it. Like, ain't nobody scammed before. Yeah, they be scamming. And we be scamming to people. I don't know how many people I've heard. IRS scam. It's scams all over the place. Why do we act like that since we heard this, that nobody has done anything? We wouldn't have filled up prisons if everybody was all doing things on the up and up. So I don't know why everybody want to like scoff at them. But let's really get in depth and understand what this ICE people are really trying. Well, who are they and what are they really trying to do?
New footage coming out of St. Paul, Minnesota shows 4 male ICE officers on top of a U.S. citizen woman as she begs and screams out to them, "Please let me show my ID." But they don't let her. They instead put her into the back of an unmarked vehicle and flee the scene, leaving a totaled car in the middle of the road. Take a look.
Cop. Clear it out. You're not a traffic cop.
You probably noticed the heavily damaged car in the middle of the road with debris and glass everywhere. None of the agents addressed this. They just got in that car and left after they took that innocent woman. But this incident is part of a larger series of ICE operations in the Twin Cities that are still taking place as of right now. There are countless videos coming from multiple different locations showing aggressive enforcement actions like the ones you just saw. The worst part is, authorities have still not released a single piece of evidence showing this woman committed any crime leading up to this takedown. This is just more proof that it's not about getting out the illegals anymore. We have people begging to show proof of citizenship and they're still detaining them. Nobody is safer because of this. Schools and restaurants are having to close down because of what ICE is doing. This is a full-fledged attack on the American people.
Okay. If that's the, so there's different consensus. Every different people think different things when they look at this, right? Some people think it's an attack on the American people. Some people saying this is what I voted for. Keep it up going. Keep going, ICE. But the question is that, okay, at what point? Because I say ICE initially was there to stop the illegal immigration. Now it is becoming a thing where the aggression level is crazy, and the whole thing is just becoming something more than what I would have thought it would be, right? So is this really what you guys voted for? Is this what you want to see? You want to see flashbangs? You want to see helicopters? This is what you guys wanted to see? And you're saying bring it on? I mean, are you guys going to join ICE? Rather than saying bring it on, this is what you want, go join it. Don't sit behind your keyboard like, yeah, no, get up and and put your little mask on and cover your face and go out there with them, okay? Because all this sitting back here, come on, you go ahead and join them. America, yeah. Come and say the motherfucking day of America. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. I'm sure you have the rock and roll. Exit lights. Tonight, y'all just be just pumping fists on the way to the protest in Minnesota. My other question is, why Minnesota? Why is Minnesota the place where this whole thing is popping off at? I think it's a testing ground. I think they are trying to test what's going on, test how everything goes. And if it goes well and they're able to completely subdue that area, they'll be able to, like, that's the testing ground. Because nobody was thinking about Minnesota. But 20 years ago, I'm old as hell. Back in like the 2000s, nobody was thinking about Minnesota except for like, oh, Prince lives there. You know, nobody was thinking about Minnesota. So it's just interesting. All of a sudden, all this stuff is going on in Minnesota. Like it's popping in Minnesota like that. It's not. What's going on? Why would Minnesota be anywhere that people are even thinking about? But now all of a sudden, all this activity is happening in Minnesota. The Somalians have malls there. They got everything is going down. Minnesota is like the center of the world right now. All of a sudden, all this activity happening in Minnesota. What's up with that? How all of a sudden is that the hot spot? You know? Anyways, let's play some more. Let's play some more stuff and let's like kind of dissect some of these videos. What's going on?
My fellow
here.
Minnesotans, what's happening in Minnesota right now defies belief. News reports simply don't do justice to the level of chaos and disruption and trauma the federal government is raining down upon our communities. 2,000 to 3,000 armed agents of the federal government have been deployed to Minnesota. Armed, masked, undertrained ICE agents are going door to door, ordering people to point out where their neighbors of color live. They're pulling over people indiscriminately, including U.S. citizens, and demanding to see their papers. And at grocery stores, at bus stops, even at our schools, they're breaking windows, dragging pregnant women down the street, just plain grabbing Minnesotans and shoving them into unmarked vans, kidnapping innocent people with no warning and no due process. Let's be very, very clear. This long ago stopped being a matter of immigration enforcement. Instead, it's a campaign of organized brutality against the people of Minnesota by our own federal government. Last week, that campaign claimed the life of Renee Nicole Good. We've all watched the video. We've all seen what happened. And yet, instead of conducting an impartial investigation so we can hold accountable the officer responsible for Renee's death, the Trump administration is devoting the full power of the federal government to finding an excuse to attack the victim and her family. Just yesterday, 6 federal prosecutors, including the longtime career prosecutor leading the charge to investigate and eliminate fraud in our state's programs, quit their jobs rather than go along with this assault on the United States Constitution. But as bad as it's been, Donald Trump intends for it to get worse. This week, he went online to promise that, quote, the day of retribution and reckoning is coming. That's a direct threat against the people of this state, who dared to vote against him 3 times and who continue to stand up for freedom with courage and empathy and profound grace. All across Minnesota, people are stepping up to help their neighbors who are being unjustly and unlawfully targeted. They're distributing care packages and walking kids to school and raising their voices in peaceful protest, even though doing so has made many of our fellow Minnesotans targets for violent retribution. Folks, I know it's scary, and I know it's absurd that we all have to be defending law and order, justice, and humanity while also caring for our families and trying to do our jobs. So tonight, let me say once again to Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, end this occupation. You've done enough.
I don't know. I think that they say they quit their jobs because they are obviously incompetent. Could it be also that is the point that they're trying to do? That's what they want. They want to replace the police officer with ICE. Could it be that this whole thing with ICE is actually a federal replacement of all local law enforcement? Have y'all ever thought about that? Like, or did you only think that this is just only about illegals? Get them down illegals up out my country. Them damn illegals. You done broke the law, you're illegal. But hold on now. Police are taking off. Police are not even interacting in this. Police, I think I heard that the police in Minnesota, they called out sick because they did not want to have to go against this whole ICE situation. They did not want to have to deal with this, right? That to me that's a red flag. There's something I'm like, okay, and I'm seeing that across the board in various different cities where local law enforcement you barely see them around, and nobody is saying nothing about it. Nobody thinks that that's strange that there's no local law enforcement being involved with all this stuff going on. People are just like, oh, business as usual. Ain't no police out here, because you know what? You see the police offer here. You don't know. You see the police thing on here because ICE got the police on there, so you think police are there. No, this is just ICE, and they got different levels of ICE that's going on, and different parts of these levels have different functions, and none of them are exactly what they are actually out here doing. Like the way that they're kind of stopping, from what I'm hearing is that they're going door to door in some places. The one place I heard that they actually took a battering ram and went through the house, didn't have the correct warrant, that the exact warrant that they're using to enter people's houses unlawfully, that's not the law. They need a warrant from a judge. But the way that they are operating is not. They are law enforcement, but they're not operating in a true law enforcement capacity when it comes to the law. So I'm just like, okay, do you guys want illegals out here so bad that you're willing to forego the Constitution? Do you guys just want to just throw the Constitution in the trash just to have illegals gone? What is the end goal? Do you want illegals out of here so bad? All the Mexicans, all the Somalians, and probably all the niggas too. Let's not play, because y'all. I know I see y'all white people in the audience. Y'all probably want us gone too. Y'all just want all this whole thing to be white, and y'all just can hold hands and eat raisin potato salad with raisins in it all day long. You know what I'm saying? Let's not pretend. Y'all want all of us up out of here. They're gonna start with the Mexicans, then the Somalians, then okay, when they don't got them to be complaining again, then they're gonna start back complaining about our asses. Come on now. Right now it's just a distraction. They not worried about us niggas because they got somebody else to focus on at this moment. I'm saying right now, we not their primary focus. And we happy. We like, I'm gonna stay out of it. I ain't gonna be bothered with it. Ain't got nothing to do with me. My name is Ben and I ain't in it, right? You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, when they finally get that amount of immigrants out and they feel satiated with that, then guess what's gonna happen next? Who they gonna come after next? I don't care what nobody say. I know that I'm not delusional. Don't be stupid, guys. Anyways, let's go.
License right here. This is legal. Philadelphia Crime Code 6108. Get the fuck out of my face.
I'm really starting to like this dude. Listen to this.
I can hold my gun like this. It's the law. Philadelphia Crime Code 6108 says I can hold my long arm in my hand. Just can't hit my finger on the trigger. So don't ask me to do nothing that's against the law. Can I help you? I'm not here minding my business. I'm out here to control and watch you.
The Black Panthers are doing all the black people saying, hey, Black Panthers
you part of that. It was y'all. You don't like to be labeled with Black Panthers. You shouldn't have touched their whole sellout. You are a sellout. You wearing their shit. You are a sellout. You ain't protecting shit. You got to do whatever they tell you to, including hurt your people. Because you're walking up to me and I don't like you and I don't trust you and I don't got no conversation with you. So unless you're investigating the crime, leave me the fuck alone. I don't care. I got a gun license right here. This is legal. Philadelphia Crime Code 6108. Move your car out of people's way and get the fuck out of my face. Thank you, officer. Have a good day. You have a bad one. Sell out. Fuck out of here. You smiling for a sellout? Do you know where you came from? Slave catchers hired you to help catch their property, which was us. Slave catcher controls the origin of that cash. You bitch ass nigga, the fuck out of here. Go where you're needed. We don't need your help. Get out the fucking street. Like what somebody said, get out the fucking street. Get out the fucking street. Go with him. Go with him. Get out the fucking street. You blocking traffic. Get out the fucking street. Get the fuck out the street.
Know your rights. We'll talk about this on the Trent Out Loud show. Click link in bio.
So you think that they want us out here doing that? You think they want us up out there doing that? Come on now. They don't want us to be out there doing that. We listen. I don't think that we really understand what's really happening here. We get involved with it, it's going to be a whole other ball game. And I think that's what they were banking on. I think they hoped that we would have jumped in up to this point. And now that you're seeing people like the Black Panthers jumping in, that's going to give an excuse for a bunch of nonsense. But I think that's what they want. They want to have a civil war. These people want to have a civil war, including these people that's in this chat. You know what I'm saying? All these people, they are bloodthirsty. Y'all are bloodthirsty and hungry for chaos. Y'all enjoy chaos. Y'all like to see this. And to me, I think it's a sad day. Let's hear some more about what the governor had to say about
We've been warning for weeks that the Trump administration's dangerous, sensationalized operations are a threat to our public safety, that someone was going to get hurt. Just yesterday, I said exactly that. What we're seeing is the consequences of governance designed to generate fear, headlines, and conflict. It's governing by reality TV. And today that recklessness cost someone their life. I've reached out to Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, and I'm waiting to hear back. Donald Trump and his administration may not care much about Minnesota. That's been pretty evident. But we love this state. We won't let them tear us apart. We'll not turn against each other. To Minnesotans, I say this: I feel your anger. I'm angry. They want a show. We can't give it to them. We cannot. The hearts and minds of the people in this state are on our side. To Americans, I ask you this: please stand with Minneapolis. To Minnesotans, know that our administration is going to stop at nothing to seek accountability and justice.
You know, I think it's interesting. I think that the governor is trying to put together a National Guard for Minnesota. And that's interesting, like the whole National Guard, you know. So he's actually trying to get like Minnesota people to come together and be the national and have its own state National Guard. But they're also trying to start the Insurrection Act too. So that it's like Trump is trying to do the Insurrection Act and get the National Guard to get control over Minnesota. This whole thing is really about to really show a whole different side of this country. And I'm trying to understand, what is the end goal? What is the purpose of all this? What are we trying to do here? And it seems like the people in the audience and y'all just so what until y'all can attack me all you want. But I'm just bringing the awareness to the situation. Because really, black people are really, we ain't really talking about, nobody can, honey, if you go on YouTube, more people are more concerned about Corey Holcomb cussing out Anton Daniels than this. Okay, nobody cares about this whole thing. People are dying out in the street. You know what I'm saying? Kids getting separated from their families. People getting raped at the ICE facilities. By the way, that is another thing. And these people have full immunity. They don't have any accountability for anything they're doing, and you guys are clapping y'all hands. So y'all love it. That's sick. Anyone that is clapping their hands to other human beings, and y'all, and your answer is, well, it's illegal. They came over here illegally. No, they not. Everybody that's in the ICE facilities did not come over here illegally. Y'all need to cut that bullshit lies out, bro. Stop it. Let me share my screen and play some of this, because I think that you guys are just delusional at best. You know, y'all want to say something about me, yeah, whatever y'all got to say, but a lot of y'all are just not even in on this earth in your mind. Let's go.
Is larger than the United States Marine Corps. Okay, they have no hiring standards.
Right.
About to become something so much more sinister than simple immigration enforcement. Now, they're fucking that up anyway, but I don't think people understand where this is headed. Just using the evidence that we have, guys. Let's start with this. Start with the budget. The budget of ICE is larger than the United States Marine Corps. Okay. They have no hiring standards. They're offering $50,000 bonuses to 70-year-olds. They have no age restrictions. They're giving them grade A weaponry and pumping out F grade personnel with 47 days of training. We know they're F grade personnel because it was found out that Enrique Tarrio, the leader of the Proud Boys, a man convicted of seditious conspiracy against his own government, is an ICE agent. So when you ask where all those Second Amendment people went, they're ICE agents now. The people that would fight against a tyrannical government are doing the tyranny. All right. Now stick with me here. Remember when we snatched Maduro? What was that? That was a law enforcement action. They stuck DOJ personnel inside of Chinook helicopters with Delta Force and went and got them and bombed all the anti-aircraft around them and said that was a law enforcement action. Donald Trump is threatening to use the Insurrection Act, which would greenlight the military going into Minnesota. Okay, you see how this is starting to connect a little bit? If we expand our foreign policy perspective here and we do attack an ally. And like I said in my other video that everybody watched, suddenly our allies become our enemies and we are all treasonous. We are traitors of the state. And the Insurrection Act is invoked with ICE agents all over the place, backed by the US military. You're harboring enemies of the state, are you not? Seen that movie, right? We are so close to a terrible scenario. ICE agents are about to become the largest paramilitary force on the planet. They're pumping them out so fast. 47 days of training. Boom, get out, boys. Go get them. And they love it. They love it. Look at them. Look how they act, fucking bitch. Right? So we have what could potentially be U.S. military covering for ICE agents, which I would assume would come up with a new name, call them shock troops at this point, who could be going against U.S. citizens who are now traitors because they used to support their allies, going after treasonous people in their view, right? This could get dark really fast. I think ICE is about to become something so much more sinister than simple immigration enforcement. Now, they're fucking that up anyway.
Well, I mean, what do y'all think? Are y'all just in agreement? And I said, yeah, even if they do become something bigger, this is what we voted for. We want them to become. Put a 1 in the chat if you want ICE to become the new federal law enforcement. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to get rid of all state and city government. I mean, city law enforcement and replace it with ICE. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if no. So it looks like the majority of y'all want this. So this audience, the majority of this audience here wants to replace city police, state police with ICE. That means that all law enforcement will be federalized, and there will be no they would have no they would have a complete immunity. So you guys want to go with a police state with no immunity. This is what you guys want. Wow, that's amazing. Oh no! It would be. No, it wouldn't just be me, honey. It would be you. It would be everybody. Everybody in this audience wants the ICE to be the new law enforcement. They don't want to have regular police. They want it to be ICE. Wow. That's something. You know what? I'm gonna say this. That's crazy. So this tells me that the American people, they want their rights to be taken away. They want to completely get their rights taken away. That's great. Why? Welcome to the panel, WOL Nation. Welcome to the panel.
Thank you for having me up, sis. Not gonna be too long with you, but here's my issue. The problem is the military police is what I call them, don't have complete jurisdiction under the law to do what they're doing. As a matter of fact, that is unlawfully what they're doing. But the fact that Trump himself can just completely ignore the House and the Senate, it totally foretells that people follow him for a complete reason. And it shows you how white supremacy works. Now, will law enforcement officer, real enforcement officers do the exact same thing that they did in Minnesota a week and a half ago? Maybe, maybe not. But people who have no jurisdiction, people who don't follow the laws, they have the complete green light from Donald Trump to do what they do. And so my complete advice to them is know your law and get out of the way. Or unless all of you plan to come out of your house 10,000, 20,000 strong against ICE agents and fight for your right for freedom. Because obviously Trump wants to wage war, not just against the entire world, but the United States itself, all because of his temper tantrums. And he's reduced himself down to a 12-year-old boy.
You say he? I'm sorry. First, let me say this. Thank you, Shark004NY, for the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Do you think it's weird that this audience? I mean, maybe this might be a bunch of trolls that are in this audience that are doing this, but they say that because this is my take. I think that what they're trying to do is replace the police force with ICE. I might be off, but what do you think? Do you think that this might be a testing ground to test out this new? Because it seemed like, wasn't we talking about defund the police a long time, like not too long ago? Wasn't there a whole thing about like how policing, people were complaining about the police, but now you see something even worse than what the police are doing out here, and you have people cheering for it, all under the guise of immigration. It's like we throw a word immigration in there, and it seems like we just lose our mind. We lose all of our sense. Like, okay, you want to be policed this hard? Do you really want people to be able to bust through your door and have a complete immunity? And these people put yes. I'm like, what? Are we that brainwashed in our country? Do we really allow just the whole concept of being a part of MAGA or the right, or as a Republican and all this other stuff versus Democrat, which is really that's what I believe in, that what that first guy said about this is really like them really trying to bring back the whole Civil War, the South versus the North and all this other crap. That's what this really Democrat versus Republican thing seems to be about, But when I look at this ICE force, it seems like that's what they want to do. They want to create another police force. What do you think?
Now, remember, the people who were screaming defund the police really were just talking out the side of their necks, because they can't tell the difference between good police and bad police. But as far as replacing them with ICE agents, that's only a super force military regime that Trump cannot permit or put in place unless he had total control, and I mean total control of the United States, which he does not. Even though he has immunity, he cannot put those types of things in place.
You know what? People are always saying what Trump cannot do, but yet he still keep doing it. He keep doing everything that he said he could. Everybody say what he can't do, and it happens. He does it. And honey, I ain't got no smoke alarm in here, sir. So my smoke alarm is not beeping. Anyway,
let me explain something to you. Right now, he sent military, and we all know he has sent the military, a small regime over there in Greenland. Already, there are several countries, as you know, several countries are already deployed there. If he, as far as touches any human being in Greenland, if one, I can't say the B word, but if one B word goes off, he's getting impeached. The seats is already, the Democratic seats that they needed already had turned blue.
I don't think that. I think that before he gets impeached, I think that there's going to be some type of award that pops off that stops that impeachment. I don't think that they're going to be able to impeach him. I think that that's a pipe dream, and I don't think that's going to happen. I think he might get sick before he gets impeached.
He is sick, but he will get impeached.
You.
I am not Somalian, okay? Peace be upon you, Pamela Wisdom. This is right up your alley. We're talking about your favorite thing, immigration. We talked about it yesterday. I thought you were going to come up because I know you would have loved that when everybody was pro immigration, and the audience right now is pro Trump and pro ICE. Everybody's on your side here, so this is the perfect place for you right now.
Yes, and thanks for having me up. I would have came up yesterday, but I'm in Maryland right now. I'm with my family, but I do want to say this. In my estimation, these mass deportations benefit Black America because they slow down the eradication of Black American communities that are being overpopulated by immigrants from all around the world. So I definitely support mass deportations. Additionally, I say that when we see the illegal aliens being mass deported, it is our obligation to stay out the way. Let these illegal aliens experience that karma. Let these white liberals experience that karma. Really.
I think that that's sad. I think that we have lost our humanity, guys. I just asked the audience that would you be down for ICE becoming the actual law, the new law enforcement? We lose the police force and we let ICE run rickshaw, however they want to do. They not only enforce immigration, but they enforce the law. And you guys said, and everybody in this audience put a 1 up in the chat. You guys are insane.
Well, just so I'm clear, I support ICE deporting the illegal aliens. Just so I'm clear. When we speak about, and this is the point I really wanted to make earlier, Black Americans have been oppressed by law enforcement in the U.S. Now that the whites and the immigrants are being allegedly oppressed, because I don't view this as oppression, but now that the whites and the immigrants are having a negative interaction with law enforcement, why are we crying about them experiencing that karma? Or in other words, we have been getting cooked. Why everyone else can't get cooked? That's the part that confuses me. Everyone on this panel will agree that law enforcement has been cooking Black America. My question is, why can't the whites and the immigrants also get cooked by law enforcement?
But did you want to answer that question, WL? Do you have
a no, but look, here's the thing. If you let a little small thing like immigrants haunt you, then what's stopping Trump from getting rid of you? He's already proven that in Chicago. He's already proven that in Baltimore. I'm not even finished, bro. Don't do that.
You always do that ADHD stuff where as soon as
he has more than one question?
No, he wasn't talking, bro.
I know him. He's been on our panel plenty of times. But what's stopping from Trump from getting rid of you? That's the goal, is to turn America into a white supremacy class, which he has proven that with immunity, with the Supreme Court, with the justice system already ignoring, he can do whatever the hell he wants to do. And that's including getting rid of you. It's not just the Hispanics, it's not just the Mexicans, it's not just the Asians, it's not just Jamaicans, Haitians, it's you too. But I guess people like horror. I guess people like horror movies.
That's what it seems like. People are
Well, I thought I could respond to
gobbling
the
this
brother.
stuff. They watch this ICE stuff and they see a Mexican family screaming, and honey, they probably be jaying off watching it because they just like that sick shit so bad. And to me, I feel it. I'm empathetic. I feel terrible to see this happen. We'll see people thrown to the ground, treated like trash. No, this happened back in the civil rights era. It's happening now. It wasn't good then, and it ain't good now. Like, just because it happened to us, it's like, well, now that it's happening to them, we shouldn't care. No. I don't
And
think.
DJ Genesis, can I answer the brother's question
Go
that he
ahead.
asked me?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, and watch how brief my response is. Number one, I'm never haunted by immigrants because I call ICE on them and get them deported. And brother, we already agreed that the U.S. government, but they have been, to use your words, they have been not just trying to get rid of us. They literally created the COINTELPRO initiative that assassinated Black Americans. They actually did get rid of a lot of us already. So the question is, and I'm going to always remember my original question, since we have been getting cooked, undoubtedly, my question is, why can't everyone else get cooked?
I got a better idea. Why don't we all just hang ourselves?
So you
That'd
run
be
from the
best.
question. I get it. You run from the question.
We could just hang ourselves and just write a note saying "Screw you, America."
So
Why
instead of
can't we
fighting
we'll
back,
just go ahead and just do that? Because you come up with that same little hocus pocus matrix rhetoric all the time. Every time I see you,
so when
every
you
time
say,
I see you, you come with all
go
that
ahead.
same little hocus pocus rhetoric. You
So
have
we,
no
go ahead.
solutions. You have no solutions whatsoever to that same, because it's going to happen anyway. People are going
Brother,
to come.
you just
People
said
are
hang
going to
ourselves,
come
brother.
in this country anyway.
You just said hang ourselves, brother. That's a cowardice way of thinking. That's throwing in the towel. So instead of
But
falling for it,
you ain't gonna
go
pick
ahead,
up.
make your
You
point.
ain't gonna pick up a gun and shoot, brother. You ain't gonna pick up no gun.
We're gonna call ICE and get ICE to come in and attack people.
What? No. I want to know what is this brother gonna do? You ain't gonna go. You ain't gonna pick up a rifle and go to Baltimore and save those kids in Baltimore. You ain't gonna go to Detroit, which they're invading right now, and save those people in Detroit or in Chicago. What about those black people in Chicago that got kicked out of their apartments butt naked along with their children? Are you gonna save them? Absolutely not.
Let me
So
tell you
I
what
don't
I
want,
actually did in real
until
life.
any of you and any one of you in the
Oh, all
chat
right, go ahead.
is willing to pick up a rifle and go and start saving our children, just like the Black Panthers are out there defending people. I don't even want to hear. I don't want to hear Class A, Class B, Class C, or any of that shit.
When you're done
Because you
preaching,
ain't gonna do nothing.
when you're done venting, I can tell you what I did in real life.
No,
Are you ready?
I'm getting sick and tired of young, weak minds like you.
Let me tell you what I did in real life, brother, with all due respect. In Howard County, Maryland, I caught my first 2 cases. I was defending Black American minors that were being assaulted by law enforcement agents in real life.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear what happened back then. I want to hear what you're gonna do now.
This was in
Because
the pandemic.
so
This
what's
was in
happening
2019.
now? What's happening now is what's people that is cowering down. I would have to say that, and I hate to say this. I don't give a damn what anybody says at this point. White folks have more guts than you do.
And now we don't like. I told you what I did in real life. How many cases have you caught defending Black children against police?
Why would I catch a case?
Checkmate.
Why would I catch a case?
You have not put your life on the line.
That's stupid. Why would I catch a case?
You have not put your life on the
Why
line.
would
for the
I
race.
catch a case? That's
You have
dumb
not
in
defended
itself.
your race.
Why in the hell would I want to catch a case? Did you do things the right way or the legal way or the illegal way?
Neither. I didn't want to catch a case neither, but I did it for my race.
But you didn't do things the legal way, did you?
But you never caught a case
Checkmate.
for your race.
You didn't do things the legal way, did you? Checkmate. I was out there when I was 12, 13 years old, boy. You don't know me.
Did you catch a case for your race?
I lived in Lansing, Michigan. I was out there with the riots. Who do you think you're talking to?
Exactly.
I was out there when they was when the Ku Klux Klan was trying to beat on us. And the Capitol and the police station was right across the street from the Capitol.
And I'm glad you said that. So since you got cooked, why every other race can't get cooked? Simple question.
You don't make no sense.
You got cooked. I'm asking why the
You
whites and the
don't make no
immigrants can't get
sense.
cooked.
You don't make no sense.
I make sense because you can't answer that
No,
question.
you can't make no sense.
You're ducking the question. I'm asking, since you got cooked, since I got cooked, why the whites and the immigrants can't get cooked?
The immigrants didn't 200,000 immigrants get deported to a place that they'd never even been? Open
Exactly.
Chicago.
So let them get cooked, brother. You got cooked. Let them get cooked.
You don't make no sense. Put the
That's
women back up.
perfect sense, brother. You got cooked.
Put the women back up.
You got cooked. You're running
And on
now.
top of that, what do you have a problem with it? Why do you have so much of a problem with the immigrants? Don't immigrants bring money into the country?
They need to bring money into their own country. Checkmate.
Anyway, I want to ask a question. What do you foresee with ICE? Like, what do you foresee positive and negative with ICE?
Well, I foresee positive that more illegal aliens will be mass deported. That's a beautiful thing. The thing that I see negative is that you have black booty clappers such as We on Lock cheerleading for illegal aliens that are taking over his community. He's so angry he breathing into the mic.
You remind me
Peace be upon you, brother.
Of those Ku Klux Klan members. As a matter of fact, you are a Klan member, bruh. Peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum.
I don't speak Arabic.
What is it called? You're breathing really hard. Who's breathing hard?
Yeah, that's We on Lock. He's angry. He's breathing out his mouth.
No, I'm just so here's a question. Why is it? What do you think is going to happen when all the illegal aliens are gone? What do you think? What utopia universe do you think is going to exist after that?
No, I never described a utopia. It'll be exactly
white
like
boys
how
are gonna hang. White boys are gonna hang him too.
Just say you're afraid of the white man.
White boys are gonna hang him too.
I know you're afraid of the white man.
He's mulatto. He looks like a white guy, so
I'm a mulatto. I'm good.
They might skip over him. So
they'll skip over me.
He might be able to pass. You know. So.
Yeah, I can pass.
So he's not declared a nigga. He's declared a white boy.
No, I'm a mulatto, respectfully.
No, but he might be. He might be one. Like
yes, but DJ, do you want to answer to your question?
You sound queer as fuck if you ask me.
It'd be like our grandfather's generation. That's what it would be like. It'd be like the 60s and the 70s when we had one enemy instead of multiple opponents. That's what it'll be like, respectfully.
As I recall, there were 85 whites to 11% blacks and only 4% Hispanics back then.
Exactly. That means we're fighting more opponents now. You just proved my point. We're now outnumbered by Hispanics in your booty clapping form. They don't need your help, respectfully.
Yeah, you wouldn't be saying that in my face if we met.
Brother, don't be so angry, brother.
Trust me. Little kids don't scare me.
Brother. Peace be upon you.
Little kids don't scare me.
Peace be upon
little kids don't scare me. You know what I do to kids like you? I take my belt off and whoop niggas.
You whip niggas, but not
I will take my belt off and whoop niggas like
you. Do you whip Mexicans? Checkmate.
Mexicans don't live near me. Mexicans don't live near me, stupid.
Even
if they did live near me.
We stand with all oppressed people, no matter what color they are.
Exactly.
That's the founder of the
He's a mulatto.
That said that. So everybody who's running around talking about
if he's a mulatto, then you disappoint
don't stand up for people other than black people, don't know a damn thing about the Black Panther Party. That's thing number one.
That was their biggest
thing number
mistake.
Two, the Black Panther Party created something called the Rainbow Coalition, which is a coalition of Hispanics, Asians, whites, and blacks from all over the world.
All lives matter.
Together to fight oppression. Again, Black Panther stood with the Mexicans, stood with the Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans, stood with the Japanese, the Vietnamese. The Black Panthers did a whole campaign to end the Vietnam War because they stood with Vietnam.
Those are
So
the
for
All
you
Lives
guys
Matter
all of
Panthers,
this gibberish
respectfully.
about you guys aren't following traditions of the original. Who do you think our leaders are? Aaron Dixon is an original Black Panther, right? Aaron Dixon is an original Black Panther who walked with Huey Newton. That's our leadership. And Billy J. Brooks.
Didn't Huey Newton stand for all people?
So you guys are.
Wasn't it Fred
That was
Hampton
his
who
biggest mistake.
started the Rainbow Coalition?
That was his biggest mistake, respectfully.
Wait. Are you
Do you know who Richard Aoki
downsizing?
is?
Wait. Are you downsizing the Black Panthers, Ridley?
Yes. Do you know who Richard Aoki
Are you
is?
downsizing the Black Panthers? Are
Yes.
you
Do you know? Yes, I'm trying to answer your question.
Oh,
Do you know who
okay,
Richard
okay.
Aoki is?
Ma'am,
Richard Aoki is a Japanese
Ma'am.
leader that they let into the Black
Ma'am.
Panthers, and he was an agent.
do
He was
you
an FBI agent.
how much to send this dyke
Because I'm
this
cooking
dyke
you.
out of here?
Because I'm cooking you.
How much you
respectfully.
want to send this dyke out of here?
Stop booty clapping
Don't
for the
don't
immigrants.
disrespect the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers have
The
done
Black
more than your
Panthers
life,
made a lot
little
of
boy.
mistakes.
Hey, $30.
30?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
get your money together. Richard Aoki is a Japanese that the Black Panthers let in, and he was an FBI agent. Yes, the Rainbow Coalition was a mistake, respectfully.
Why? So why was there? Why are you saying this about the Black Panthers? Why are you
I
saying?
just gave you an example. Richard Aoki. Just look him up. Do
There's
you know
black
who he is?
people- There are Black people all over that are that infiltrated. It wasn't just the Asian.
Exactly. We had our own problems. We don't need anyone else's problems.
Islam, it was infiltrated by Black people as well.
Exactly. We have our own problems. We don't need
Exactly. Why do you
immigrants
have
to bring their problems.
What's wrong with you, bro? Why can't you let someone finish their sentence, nigga?
All right. Well, I responded to it already, so just repeat your sentence. I already responded to
No,
it anyway.
you didn't respond to it because you're talking about one thing, and that's that we got our own problems and this, that, and the other. But the bottom line is that if we want to, if he wants to take his organization and he wants to help out other people, and this is a profound organization in the Black community, what's the problem?
It's a mistake. I just told you the problem. The problem is we have our own issues. We don't need to adopt other people's issues.
We're dealing with our own issues anyway. Like
Exactly, you just said it.
And why do you
we
think
need
that
to
once
deal.
immigration start? Why do you think that once immigration stops, that suddenly it's going to change what's going to happen in the Black community, and all of a sudden we're going to revert back to the '60s and everything just going to go back to normal?
No, I'll tell you what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
we're gonna have less opponents.
exactly. That's exactly it.
So you mean that we're so weak that we need people to like get rid of our opponents for us so that we?
No,
can
we need to get it. No, we need to get rid of our own opponents by calling
Why don't
ICE
we
on
become
them.
better people? Why don't we become a better community?
Oh, did you hear the answer to the question? You asked me a question. I answered it. Did you hear the answer? Did you hear the answer I gave you to your question you asked me? Did you hear the answer?
No, I wasn't done talking. You keep talking while
You
I'm
asking more questions.
No, it doesn't matter. It's my show. I can answer.
So which question you want me to answer?
You're talking over me, bro.
Look in your
No, I'm
chat,
asking,
sis. Look in your
which
chat,
question
sis.
you want me to answer?
There you go. So, all right, he gave a $30. Boy,
From the
bye.
head, Smuff.
I am blessed to make money, money making money, money making money, money making money, money making money, manifest making money, money making money, money making money, money making money. I ain't stressed, making money, money making money, money making money, money making money. Gratitude is my attitude. I'm making money moves. Jewelry in the safe, piggy bank on full. And I'm living life abundant. I'm making money fast. I'm a money making magnet, making cold hard cash. I'm making money. Oh, I am blessed.
All right, so thank you for the $20, $30 chat, and Lotto's been kicked from the show. So he talked about the Rainbow Coalition ain't never do nothing for no black person. Get the L out of here while we're here giving more poppies, bad bodegas while you stand on the corner tap dancing for them.
How were they able to do anything for each other when in history, if you look into history, J. Edgar Hoover broke up the band. Know your fucking history before you open up your mouth to shit.
Pretty much, I think that sometimes I think that he comes up here to kind of shock the thing, like by having this whatever this character is of his, Pan Mulatto, that he created online, is to come up and be subversive. Because I'm like, you call it all immigration on all these people, you're for the black people, you're for this, you're for that. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, other than lobbying, he told me he lobbied in Congress. And that's what he does. He's a lobbyist or whatever. I don't know how true it is.
The only thing he lobbying is to get a fresh pair of drawers, because one of these wearing stank. Because every time he come up to my show, and there's a reason why he's been banned in certain shows, because he's always talking that immigration shit. Immigration never hurt anybody, dude. Yeah, there were a couple knuckleheads here and there, but only 2.3% of immigrants commit crimes. That's a small percentage in this country.
Right. That's why don't we focus on our own community? Why do we need to destroy another community in order to build ours up? We need to get rid of. They need to get rid of them people, because then maybe we could do something.
I'll tell you why. Because people can say whatever they want to say. When we asked y'all to start rebuilding your communities under the guise of Dr. Claude Anderson, under the guise of Dr. Ben, under the guise of Dr. John Henry Clark, and other black leaders, when we tell you to rebuild your communities from within, you just wanted to either you wanted to tear it down, or you just had the ideas like we had to get along with everybody. Now the other people are coming in and building their communities with their own dollars and their own money, and they're getting kicked out of their communities. All in the guise of you tattletaling and you can't do shit for yourselves. It's a problem now.
You know what I'm saying? Didn't Dr. Claude Anderson have a whole speech called Powernomics, where he talked about that we need to have Powernomics and share wealth within each other? He did that whole speech, but what, in 2004 or something like that?
2001, he started Black Labor, White Wealth, Powernomics, Dirty Little Secrets, more Dirty Little Secrets, then Black Book Reader. You can read all of his books, and was an owner of his own fish company.
And he had a think tank, because that's what made me actually. No, this is not a recording. That's what made me actually decide that I wanted to start up my own think tank, because he said we need to have more black think tanks. And he predicted that by the year 2012, that other immigration was going to happen, and then they're going to be able to wrap themselves into our suffrage. And so he didn't say we need to call immigration on them and kick them out the country. He said we need to start having forming some kind of a community. We need to start practicing group economics the same way they did. But this guy's response is, "Oh no, let's be a coward and let's call immigration. Let's call the let's call the police on the immigrants, because I can't do nothing within my own community because I'm weak as hell. And let me get these families uprooted and out, even though some of them are not even illegal."
I mean, they're probably the same ones that get a woman pregnant and leave the kid behind.
Right.
That's probably one of the ones.
Break up with the woman and then be mad because he got to pay child support. You understand what I'm saying?
But bottom line to this whole mess, if one B word, if a hand is being, dude, I don't think people understand how critical this is. And people don't actually give a damn because they like drama. Just like that whole Corey Holcomb Anton shit. First of all, I've spoken with Anton plenty of times. He's a dirtbag. He's a freaking dirtbag. He's the same one that said fuck Malcolm X. Fuck Malcolm X, but he don't praise Martin Luther King. That's a idiotic fool in and of itself. But people love drama.
Where are all these new people? It seemed like when that FBA movement came out, all these people started up with this whole kind of like Republican versus Democrat talk. They're starting to talk just like the other people, and it's like, bro, we ain't never like neither one of those parties are for you, but guys, I'm sorry.
Well, let me tell you this about FBA. I wouldn't mind FBA or Adolph's. And Adolph's to me is one of the realest movements because you don't have a pimp running that community.
Right.
You don't have somebody who
like a jester.
Yeah, just a jester or make movies and stuff like that. Even though some of us enjoy those particular movies, it's not fake. To me, Adolph's is a little bit more real. And even though me and Yvette Cornell don't see eye to eye on everything, I respect her more than most. I will say that about her, and I will say that about Adolph's. I've talked to more Adolph's people than I've talked to FBA people. And I understand the movement completely. But I'm a Pan-African. I understand without a unit, a somewhat unified community, we're done. We are done. We are lost.
That's what I said yesterday. I said I think it's really interesting that they start this FBA movement right when this whole immigration thing starts and this whole ICE thing starts, so that so now when they start attacking those people, we're not there to like actually have any. If they kill one of those Caribbeans, we're gonna be like, oh, they were a tether. If they kill an African, oh, that's a tether. So they create the separation so that when they get to like start fooling with people, that we delineate from them so that they can attack those people, and we're not there. We can't. We're delineated, so they can just kill them, and we wouldn't even care. Oh well, forget that tether. They can kill a Mexican. They can kill a Venezuelan. As long as that's the thing. We have no care in our hearts, and that's where I find it really sick to actually clap our hands when we see people getting hurt, and families crying and screaming and being beat up and dragged on the ground. It's like, where is our humanity at?
Well, the humanity was. I don't want to say that humanity's lost. I just think we're just lazy. I think we're lazy. We're angry at certain things, and we're just trying to figure things out on the fly. But there is no excuse for non-unity. It's no excuse. Take it like this brother right here on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've met the Black Panther Party before personally. It was the Black Panther Party, the Hebrew Israelites, the lady that got shot in her. I think the lady got shot in her house. I forgot what her name was, but we were doing a ceremony on her, the one that had the boiling water, and we were doing a ceremony on her. And what I saw when I went to that meeting were the Black Panthers, the Hebrew Israelites, Muslim Temple Number 7, and I mentioned the Black Panthers. And NAACP.
Mm-hmm.
We all gathered together for that moment in time where all of us came together as one. Now that's the type of unity I'm talking about. Now, but do we have that type of leadership where we continuously get together on a certain basis? Hell no. You don't even, some of your leaders, they're entertainers. You would rather have an entertainer as a leader that proclaims no leadership, but we're just a lost soul at this point.
How could you be a part of an organ? We're gonna say that that we're a part of something that has that he's saying that he's not the leader of, but steady leading it. So now you're being disingenuous. You're lying. You know what I'm saying? You probably say you're not leading it, but yet you're leading it at the same time. You know, and then you say, oh, okay, but the movement is delineation. So that's all. That's the only thing behind your movement. And then when you have a Black Panther get up here and say, listen, we are here for anyone that's being oppressed. Oh, well, no. And then now you got these other people now because everybody's not delineating like them. Now they come under attack. Now they're a coon, they're booty clapping, they're a tether. It's like, bro, everybody's not going to be just disassociate themselves from everything.
They're just saying that because they know they will never pick up a weapon and go against the white man. They will never ever do it. It's what they say. The revolution will not be televised.
Delineation equals lazyation. You ain't fixing to do nothing. You just want to sit back and be lazy about it and just watch everything go down like a
No. They expect something. And I forgot to tell you earlier, they expect something from somebody who would actually give them what they want. And I said this on my channel, you're not gonna get it. Because they either want you gone or back in chains mentally. And they are well, it all depends upon them.
You should have heard the people that was on this thing earlier, honey. I think it was all the MAGA, because honey, our YouTube sent a bunch of MAGAs over here, and honey, they was just speaking nothing but hatred toward. They just want they want us gone, bro. These white people don't want us here. You know what I'm saying? They speak their mind on this line that where they can really get online and be behind a keyboard. You can't see their face. That they speak how they really feel. A lot of them are probably kids, who knows? But I mean, bottom line, the people that sit around and say those type of things, that's a sick mind.
I fight with them all the time. All the time. It's nothing new.
Yeah.
And they all say the same thing. Why are you so focused on race? Well, I am just as focused on race as you is just as focused on my melanin. And my melanin is just as important to you as anything else in the world because your species is fading away. That's why Trump is in this temper tantrum, because he doesn't get any respect. But as soon as Obama gets in office, he has a little temper tantrum. As soon as he can't get a Nobel Peace Prize, he has a temper tantrum. And we don't have to go into the whole details of what he's capable of doing. We don't want to get into that, or what he's been convicted of 34 times in a row, about to be 35. Right. We don't want to get into that.
If a person would actually be ahead of an insurrection, right?
What about this?
How would I think they would respect anything else? You know, when a person would even be a part of an insurrection, why would I think they would care about just even care about the Constitution? I think that this Constitution, I think that people want to get away with. I think they want to do away with the Constitution. I think if they could, they want to do away with that Constitution and create their own just rules. And I'm like, well, sir, you're not even going to be here, sir. You're almost 90, 100 years old. It's crazy to me how like I don't understand this. A person that's like that's sick, not even think he's just a figurehead. This is all political theater. This whole thing is just a bunch of political theater, and all this stuff is really rubbing up because they want to join Canada, Greenland, America, and Mexico and Venezuela all together into one big old nation. But I'm trying to understand that if that's the case, why are you attacking Latino immigrants? Why are you attacking Native American? To me, the only way that I can understand this happening is a show of force to get control of law enforcement. Do you know that they paid that right now there's a whole battle going on because they paid, I think, Houston like what, $25 million to partner with them. So this is the words that they're using to partner with ICE. When a business goes into partnership, that means that you guys could join together. You become partners in business, right? If ICE has, I mean, I'm not sure what their budget is, but what I heard is that their budget is bigger than the military's. And then they can go around to different law enforcement agencies and partner up with them. People get these signing bonuses that sound like a 360 deal. That you get $10,000 when you sign up, and every year after that you get a $10,000 bonus. And if you decide to leave ICE at any point over that 5-year period of time, that's what the $50,000 bonus is. That you got to repay it back. That sounds like a damn record label deal.
And they're not going to partner with everybody because the sheriff and the deputies and the captains, they especially in Philly and in other places, they're not going to allow that because they're getting sick and tired of Trump too. They certainly are.
Well,
I forgot who that lady was in Philly, boy, but she, I truly like her. I truly like that woman. I wish I would have done the whole cameo on that woman.
Man, let me tell you, check this out. Speaking of people that are really talking out about this, I think this was about. I think this was from live from. This was some state officials talking about the situation with ICE, the Attorney General.
Paul, and words simply cannot embrace and capture how grateful we are for all of you to be here, to bear witness and to be present to what is happening in our beloved state of Minnesota right now. Your presence here is incredibly important and impactful, shining a light on what is the single most unjust thing I've ever seen happen to our state of Minnesota. The Trump administration's decision to target Minnesota and the Twin Cities, flooding our streets with thousands of federal immigration agents, is not about public safety. It's not about fraud. It's not even about immigration enforcement. It is because, in the words of Donald Trump, he believes that he won our state 3 times, but he did not win it in the election. I'm quoting him. He's the one who said these words, not me. In fact, when he said what he said, it was so incredible that I had to replay it a few times to make sure that I heard that this was about vindictiveness and an election loss, not anything to do with any legitimate public interest. And you've heard already from the very accurate descriptions from our congressional presenters that we've seen attacks on high schools, over 3,000 agent surge, warrantless searches, killings, shootings, and none of this has done anything to help Minnesota. In fact, it has hurt Minnesota. In fact, it has diminished economic activity in our state, deprived schools, children from education, created barriers for public life, and has expanded costs on our state. You'll hear from both of our mayors how both of them are dealing with increased costs for overtime. I'll leave that to them to describe. But that is why the 3 of us joined together with the state of Minnesota, Minneapolis, and St. Paul to sue the Trump administration over Operation Metro Surge. Let me be clear. We're not suing because ICE is in Minnesota. They were in Minnesota last year. They were in Minnesota 10 years ago. We didn't sue them then. We sued them over this activity, which is unjustified, unconstitutional, damages our state, interferes with our sovereignty as a member of these United States, violates the Administrative Procedures Act, is arbitrary, capricious, and damaging to all of us. That is what this lawsuit is all about. And I just want to note that you've heard much about how the behavior of ISIS is taxing our local law enforcement. But I want to be clear, local law enforcement is doing a good job. They're maintaining order in our state. The order, if there, to the degree there is a lack of it or a challenge, is directly and exclusively because of the Metro Surge authorized by the President of the United States. This is, and so as he contemplates the Insurrection Act, please know that this is, we do not need federal authorities to help us maintain order. We need them to stop doing things. That is what is needed in this situation, and that is what we're demanding in our lawsuit. So let me just say that.
So what do you think about this whole thing about the Insurrection Act? And do you think that Trump is really going to push this Insurrection Act?
He can. He really can if he wanted to. I believe people say that he's doing this in Minnesota for an experiment to see if it will stick. And if there is no cooperation within that city, I would suppose, but again, nothing can be done without the House. Nothing can be done without the Senate.
Honey, he doing plenty without the House and Senate. I think he bombed Venezuela without the House and Senate.
Yeah, and he's going to pay dearly for that once he gets it. Once they take his immunity away from him, he's going to be dealing with that. He's going to be dealing with war crimes.
Do you think that they're going to be able to impeach Trump?
Absolutely, absolutely. Let him harm people in Greenland and see what I say. Because if Canada is involved, if Cuba is involved, if Mexico is involved,
Canada and Cuba are involved in trying to get him impeached?
in defending Greenland.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
If they are involved, if the whole world is having a international meeting because of him, it's a problem. It is a problem. But you heard of the impeachment of what is her name? Christy Knowles, right?
No, say it again.
Christy Knowles, I think the governor of South Dakota, I believe. The one with the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
She was in the House answering all those questions. She is going to get impeached. So it's only a matter of time before Patel gets impeached. Freaking all those trick bags get impeached. But the number one person who needs to get his little things together is Trump. Not only is he sick, not only is he dealing with his issues, but you know what Joe Biden went through? I think, and don't quote me on this, he's dealing with the same exact thing. But they know what they say about energy. When Donald Trump was making fun of him, and Donald Trump was making fun of the dude that got captured in the war, he's made fun of people in wheelchairs. He's made fun of everybody. That energy is going to come upon him 10 times fold.
Wait, I just realized that the Republicans are the ones that did this impeachment.
There are people in the Republican Party that will join together in unison to impeach his ass.
Yeah, it says that Republicans can bring impeachment threat. Let's go.
Republicans. That is how far we have gotten in the MAGA civil war. The House of Representatives is in all-out revolt, and there is nothing that Mike Johnson can do to stop it. And it all starts with Greenland. Republicans are furious that Donald Trump has put their party in the worst political position we have ever seen in the modern era. And right now, instead of helping them save their seats, He's focused on cutting checks to Greenland, which is why a Republican in the House is making a shocking announcement about Trump and impeachment that we are going to get into. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already and you enjoy our...
Speaking of that, y'all make sure y'all leave a like over here too. You know, make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Even y'all haters that's talking mess, subscribe so you can come back in here and talk mess. I know y'all still like it. Y'all talking hate, but y'all still up in here hate.
A million reasons to impeach Donald Trump less than a year into his presidency. But the one that is causing the most problems with MAGA right now is Greenland. And it starts with this report that Chris Hayes did on why Donald Trump is so obsessed with Greenland and why it is backfiring so badly on him.
The factual basis for this saber rattling is also completely nonsensical, even at just a kind of practical level. There is no national security need for us to control a country that is already our ally in the NATO alliance, part of the U.S. missile defense for 70 years. In fact, we already have a military base in Greenland. And I'll confess, I didn't used to know that, but you know how I do know that? I know it because Vice President J.D. Vance went to that base last year. And I promise he knows it exists. Trump wants it, it appears, because, and this is the way he said it, it's important to him psychologically because it's big. He basically admitted as much to the New York Times. Ownership is very important, Trump said, as he discussed with a real estate mogul's eye, the landmass of Greenland. When asked why he needed to possess the territory, he said, because that's what I feel is psychologically needed for success.
What?
I think that ownership gives you a thing that you can't do, whether you're talking about...
Wait. When asked,
I told you.
Because that's what I feel is psychologically needed for success. I think that ownership gives you a thing that you can't do, whether you're talking about a lease or a treaty. Ownership gives you things and elements that you can't get from just signing a document. Wow. So he's going to start all this mess between everybody just because he wants to psychologically feel good, you know, just because of his ego.
He has his temper tantrums. Look, okay, let's start with America. He has two Pacific Towers that I know about. One here in the state of Nevada, which he does not own because he fucked up the licenses here. The other one in New York, which some people in New York are looking for him as we speak, but they can't touch him because he has immunity and he's the president. He's tried brokering deals. He has stolen money. He has apparently he has asked his sons to steal money from small cities, the small states. Well, I don't want to say it on you. I don't want to say the R word on your channel. So he's done stuff to really piss people off, and he's a bad businessman. He's tried to not renovate, give renovations to black and brown people. His prejudice. Oh, did I forget to tell you that his father was a supporter of the Ku Klux Klan?
I think wasn't it? I think one of them wasn't he a part of Hitler's group too. I think back in the day, his great grandfather was and
his great grandfather is an immigrant. Oops.
Right, but from like he was from the Reich or whatever, the Third Reich or whatever it is.
His mother is Scottish, and his father's a German. Make that make sense. He was lucky to be born here in America. Otherwise, he would have been deported.
What's up, Oculus? Welcome to the chat. Have you been here and listening to the show so far?
Yeah, I'm driving, but yeah, I've been listening to it in the background.
Oh, okay. So what you have to say so far about what's been going on? We've been talking about ICE, and we have gotten into Trump, and it's gotten pretty interesting. But what's up? What do you have to say about the subject? What do you have to say about this?
I got a passenger right now. I got to mute up.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I'll get in. You know that.
Okay, but this right here. I'm like psychologically. Like what? Like to me, this gets really strange when this happens. When he started talking, and I did even on the show yesterday, I did talk about the fact that Trump might be suffering dementia. And when he's saying stuff like this is sounding like a person that's like not even in their right mind.
The lease or treaty, ownership gives you things and elements that you can't just get from signing a document. Now, the other part of this, and it's almost too stupid to spend time on, but we have to. He also likes how it looks on the map. I mean, look at that. Look how big and strategically important it is. And this is a person who's got weird issues about bigness. And as you map nerds out there know, that is purely due to an optical illusion with the Mercator projection when it attempts to display a spherical planet on a flat map, as you can see in this GIF from geographer Jakob Nawasa. I mean, Greenland is pretty big, don't get me wrong. It is not continent-sized. And I honestly do think that's why Donald Trump wants it. That's a theory we've been kicking around for a while on this show.
Yeah, it's so sad for me to hear you say, I think it has something to do with the Mercator projection. Like that's where our politics have come to, that we have to think about the kind of maps that we are showing our imbecile president of the United States.
And so here we are. I mean, it's surreal. It's like a nightmare.
Hey, I'm going to tell you real quick before I get somebody else. I know why he want Greenland.
Go ahead.
He want Greenland for the raw materials that's in Greenland. It's an untapped, tapped into reservoir of raw materials that can be used in efficiency of mass production and electric vehicles. Whether you guys, know that or not, and it's a couple pipelines where you can extrapolate a lot of oil too from Greenland. So yeah, he got a vested interest in Greenland and purchasing it because he can keep the people that shake his hands that produce these electric vehicles, he can keep those people happy and they can keep feeding him money in his back pocket. Because they ain't gonna get the raw material from China. Because China also got, these mountains and mountains of raw materials that we need, like cobalt, lithium, and all these things that we need out of the planet. But Greenland is not tapped into. So on the surface, it looked like he's doing something that should be laughed at, but it's a strategy, But people won't look at it. All you got to do is look up what raw materials does Greenland have to offer. And then you can put in what raw materials that Greenland have to offer in regards to electric batteries or electric cars. What materials, you'll see all this stuff. Then look up the oil stuff. You'll see it there too. So not only we going to get Greenland, we're going to get Venezuela too. And they got all the oil too.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's a couple plays. Whatever you seeing in your face, so a lot of times people got to look behind what's in their face. They got to zoom out of the picture to see the bigger picture versus being so zoomed into it and polarized by what he's doing and the audacious things that he says. We gotta, look away from that and zoom out of the picture and see what's the bigger picture. That's what I say, but I got to mute up.
All right. Good point. Good point.
And he is 1,000% correct.
I agree.
But to be perfectly honest, if he wanted minerals, he can just attack Nigeria again.
I mean, isn't he already working with Nigeria?
The Christians over there, yeah.
Well, no, the Nigerian president, he already had that whole, that was a whole deal. Like, he's already got his foot in Nigeria.
But you also know it also affects Burkina Faso, which Abraham Traoré is basically making a killing over there. But I digress.
Right. Well, let me play the rest of this.
Of what would be a totally unprecedented geopolitical crisis in the post-World War II era. I mean, it would move us off a period in history that is outside of the World War period of history and back towards that kind of world. Donald Trump could blow up NATO at any second, which of course would be a feature rather than a bug for this administration.
He literally doesn't understand how maps work, and now he wants to go to war. He doesn't understand how maps work, and he wants to go to war. That sounds like a cartoon king from a Disney movie set 1,000 years ago, not the current president of the United States. Stupidity has been a a very obvious theme of this administration, and it has gotten us to some really dark places, but it's only going to get darker. And I don't think Donald Trump realizes that his MAGA supporters or former MAGA supporters in the House do not appreciate this. This is a man who ran on lowering costs, then exploded them, and is now telling America that they're going to have to pay $1 million per Greenlander so we can have a territory for Trump to put his name on with no real strategic objective other than, look at me, I'm the conqueror, I'm the king. And yeah, of course, Donald Trump, who believes that he is only governed by his own morality on the world stage, is happy to do whatever he wants.
Let me see if he gets into like the whole Republican part. I was trying to get to the part where he talks about the Republicans that are trying to. I was trying to play the part where the Republicans are talking about impeachment. Let me try to get the right thing. I don't think that's. Let me go here. All right.
Here are legal developments tonight, and they look like this, and I'm going to walk you right through them. These are two separate cases where two judges have ruled for major Epstein transparency and basically changed what is longstanding precedent on what materials you release from criminal probes. I'm going to walk you through it here in plain English. The big development today is one of these cases, a judge granting a motion to release sensitive Epstein records, specifically to unseal what are grand jury records in the Ghislaine Maxwell case. And that mirrors another ruling, and I'll tell you about that as well. But if this sounds like a huge change, it is. If you think back to every case you've ever looked into, maybe you're a true crime Whitey Bulger fan, maybe you remember the Mueller probe, grand jury materials are protected by Rule 6, which is one of those sort of long-standing rules of the federal court system. And the reason the grand jury materials are usually secret is because, unlike, say, an open trial where the government is presenting certain evidence, this is a private process designed to decide whether you get to trial or not. And for many reasons of fairness, say they don't indict and move forward.
Okay, so let me just start by telling you about the two-front battle Trump faces right now, because in court, judges have held him in contempt and openly warned that jail is on the table, while in Congress, detailed impeachment papers brand him unfit to govern and build the case for his removal. Judge Merchan found Trump in contempt for repeatedly violating gag orders and stated he is prepared to impose jail time if fines don't work. Meanwhile, HRS 353 charges Trump with 7 articles of impeachment, calling him a threat to the Constitution.
I told you.
NATO is sending troops to protect Greenland, so if he tries to go forward, it's going to get ugly, and we have troops there. I think we have a base there, too. MAGA didn't call him out on his support of red flag laws or bump stock ban, so they claim to support the Second Amendment. So it sounds like to me, like based on his just like kind of foregoing the Constitution with all the stuff that he's been doing, they're trying to get him up out of there, and it's his own people doing it.
The pressure is building from both the judicial and legislative branches simultaneously. But before we go any further, real quick, let's be honest, you can't really trust mainstream media anymore. That's
an ad. Sorry about that. I would do the ad.
And his base remains interested in whether he complies with this law, which they know he was forced to sign. And Congresswoman MTG, who sparred with Trump over this and other issues, ultimately resigning, made some pretty interesting new remarks about the Epstein back and forth with Trump in her 60 Minutes.
We did. Do you think this is because of the Epstein that he's about to get impeached, or anything else? Is this mainly an Epstein situation?
He is involved in the Epstein files, yes. I mean,
man, if he gets it,
and amongst other things.
Things are serious. In Trump's Manhattan hush money case, Judge Juan Merchan found him in contempt for repeatedly violating a gag order. The order barred attacks on witnesses, prosecutors, court staff, and their families. Trump violated it multiple times through social media posts targeting people involved in proceedings against him. Merchan imposed $9,000 in fines for 9 violations and ordered Trump to delete the offending posts.
I mean, this looks like AI. This is a real person, Gavin Pierce. It's like an AI, but I'm just listening to the words he's saying. Let's go.
The escalation from fines to jail warnings came when Merchant acknowledged that monetary penalties weren't achieving compliance. He stated in open court that if fines don't work, he is prepared to impose jail time. His exact words captured the tension.
So it sounds like they're trying to impeach him. Let me try to find the actual the news story. Okay, this is on Fox Business.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Did you hear what he had stated about his own daughter? This man that we have in office today. Did you hear what he said about his own daughter?
What he said a long time ago or something recently?
It's a long time ago, but it's still effective.
Yeah, I heard what he said, but go ahead, you can talk about it. Okay.
I mean, not just about his daughter, but a 10-year-old girl. And people still support. If I were to do that, and I have a daughter, if I were to say some foul stuff like what he had stated, and had another man say out of his lips that she was a piece of ass, do you know what my relatives would do to me?
Yeah.
And they're licensed gun holders. I wouldn't want them to do. I would get the rope and hang myself.
Mm-hmm.
I would never ever say anything foul about my own seed, let alone somebody else's seed. If you're 10 years old, but when you grow up, you are going to be mine. Is that appropriate?
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing, I mean, it sounds like this whole party has a lot of that nonsense going on. I don't know I don't know, it's really strange. But anyways, I wanted to show you guys this thing that Bernstein actually had to say about this whole thing about Minneapolis, and that it was not an accident. Let's go into that.
For joining me. I wish I could cheer you up, but I can't. This is an unprecedented and dangerous moment in modern American history under a president who is increasingly unhinged and every day is moving us toward an authoritarian society with more and more power resting in his own hands. While the situation is frightening, I am absolutely confident that if we stand together and not let Trump and his friends divide us up, we can and will prevail. And the good news is that even more and more Republicans are understanding the folly of standing with Trump on both policy and political issues, as polls indicate that he is becoming more and more unpopular. Let's give Donald Trump credit for being straightforward. Last week, in an interview with the New York Times, when asked about what he considers to be the limits on his own power in terms of international affairs, he said, quote, "Yeah, there is one thing, my own morality, my own mind. It's the only thing that can stop me. I don't need international law," end quote. Trump says he doesn't need international law. And as a result, Trump believes he has the right to attack Venezuela without congressional approval, the right to threaten to go to war against Denmark, a long-standing NATO ally, in order to take over Greenland, and to threaten Mexico, Colombia, and even Canada. In other words, Trump is right. He has no respect for international law, which means that no other country on earth will have respect for international law. As a result, we will move to international anarchy, where any act of violence, for whatever reason that any country or terrorist group thinks is acceptable, will be done. And that is a horrific situation. But it is not just his disregard for international law. It is his contempt for the Constitution of the United States and for the rule of law here at home. He has continued to illegally rescind money that Congress has appropriated for everything from education to climate change. He has denied funding to states that committed the crime of voting against him in an election. He has attacked federal courts that ignored court orders. He has sent FBI agents into a Washington Post reporter's home. He has attacked media, which has not bent the need toward him. He has withheld funding from universities whose curriculum he disagrees with. He is renaming federal buildings after himself.
Wow.
He is investigating his political opponents, including the conservative chairman of the Federal Reserve, multiple United States senators, and the Attorney General of the state of New York. And he is pressuring states to redraw congressional maps so that his favored candidates win. Donald Trump does not disagree with his opponents. He is attempting to destroy his opponents.
And this is the part that I found interesting, because when we get back to Minnesota, that is what this is initially what they said is the reason why Donald Trump is attacking Minnesota with ICE, because he did not get the vote there, you know. So what do you think? Do you think that this whole thing because I thought that Minnesota was a strategic place to attack because nobody is looking at Minnesota at all. It's just a place that's like in limbo, you know. No one is looking at Minnesota saying it's not like a big city. It's kind of like, and you know, of course, the George Floyd thing happened there, and so you know, it's interesting that becomes a place to test ICE out on. But now I'm looking at it based on what this guy is saying, or the Attorney General is like, no, this is about something else. And it's about him being upset about the fact that they didn't vote for him, or he wasn't able to get their vote. And is Trump really that vindictive? Let's go.
The family of Renee Nicole Good and the family of everyone who's been thrown to the ground, beaten, harassed, arrested in a warrantless search, anyone whose business has been destroyed, had to face closing their business because of this conduct, that we are standing with you. And we will not stand by idly as this injustice unfolds. We will stand up and assert all means legal to protect the people of our state. I will yield back.
Thank you, Ranking Member Jayapal, Congresswoman Omar, members of this committee. We are so grateful to have you here today. Our ask is that you take the things that you have seen and you have heard from Minnesota, you bring them back to your respective districts. You talk to your colleagues that aren't here with us. You talk to both Democrats and Republicans about the unconstitutional violations that are happening in Minnesota and Minneapolis. And we put a stop to this because what we're seeing on our streets is unnecessary abuses of force. This is an invasion for the sake of creating chaos by our own federal government to interrupt the daily lives of tens of thousands of people. As the Attorney General said, this is not about safety. This is not about immigration. This is about sowing chaos on the streets of Minneapolis. This is about political retribution. And we in Minneapolis are suffering the brunt of it right now. Let me tell you what that looks like. It looks like businesses closing. It looks like people on the streets that are terrified to get picked up. It looks like United States citizens getting taken somewhere where they don't know where they are going nor when they are going to return to their families. It's families torn apart. It's schools closing. It's an unnecessary expense of taxpayer dollars just to try to keep order. If this were about order, there would be a simple way to restore it. And let me tell you a secret. It's not restored by additional federal agents. Order would be restored, and I will make this prediction, if those federal agents left. As soon as they leave, we will have peace, we will have safety, and order will be restored. Before the federal agents came here, our city was experiencing a brilliant comeback. Indeed, we were on the way to a renaissance. Safety had been improved, crime was down in virtually every category, in virtually every neighborhood. Thus far in 2026, last I checked, we had only had 4 shootings. 2 of them were ICE. An entire city of 435,000 people, 4 shootings, and 2 of them were ICE. It is clear that the practices that ICE is using is unconstitutional. They are not methodical. They are not well planned out. They have taken people out of their cars to detain them on major streets, left the car running, not in park. Car rolls down the streets. You don't need to be a genius to figure out that that is not safe.
Oh, thank you.
We've had small children that.
Let's talk about this. I mean, are we trying to get somebody so bad that we just like snatch them out the car while the car is still running and leave the car and let it just crash in the buildings? or is this a matter of bad training and not knowing how to train, or even to like, why are they in unmarked cars? Why are they in these cars that like anybody could just pull up to you and just stop you, and it could be anybody? There's a big danger to that, because go ahead, what were we gonna say?
I will say this, and I gotta leave, and I definitely want to say I do appreciate you having me up here. I want you to heed what Jesse the Body Ventura was stating. I want you to read into Nazi Germany and what they had to go through versus what the United States is going through right now. And I'm out.
Right, and so and we did talk about that. We talked about that. What is this really? Is this Yahtzee journey? Is this what this is, or is this a continuation of the civil war they're trying to like have, the Democrats versus Republican, and the North versus the South, all that stuff. And I mean, but let's really get into this. It's like, I mean, is it really that important to pull someone over that you got to like have the person? You're just leaving the car running and going. This is lack of training. This is lack of proper training. This is lack of having a proper a car. Why can't they have marked police cars that that this is Homeland Security? Why are they doing it? Like, because they want to be able to sneak up on this, like an undercover. Well, guess what? People know who you are anyway, so you might as well just go ahead and get some marked ICE cars and pull up with the marked car, and then you won't have to because what's happening, your people are getting pulled over and they don't know who this is, blocking them off and all sorts of stuff. I'm like, who is this? But they don't know this is a crazy person or what. And then they finally get them pulled. Then they're ramming them. They're doing all this stuff. And all this is because they're trying to be covert with it, but honey, they're not being covert with it. I mean, the whole thing is just crazy when you actually think about it, like how they're going about it, leaving cars running so that they can go further and ram into somebody else.
You don't need to be a genius to figure out that that is not safe. We've had small children that have been damaged by the inhalation of some form of gas. We've had loose dogs that were left unattended in the streets after ICE arrested and drove away with its owner. This is not making Minneapolis safer. This is not about safety.
Right. So a person's walking their dog. These are not criminals. I'm walking my dog. I just got home from work. I'm walking my dog, and then ICE jump out and grab me and leave my dog running around the neighborhood. Because they're illegal immigrants and they just need to get out the country because they're taking away our whatever we could have been doing. They're getting in our way and they're competing with us. Well, you need to be. If you were something to compete with, they're not even. I don't even think people are really. What are you talking about? Most of these people are in their own communities. Okay, yes, they work in certain places or whatever. I don't understand this whole. That's what Pam Mulatto said, is that if they get out the way, then it'll go back to the 60s and the 70s, how it used to be, and we'll have less competition. Are you serious? Are we that sorry that we have to attack people that have been here for their whole life, born and raised? They jump out on these people that are unassuming. They're minding their business. These are not criminals that Trump was saying. Just because we don't want to, we want to eliminate the competition. That sounds like you were never in the running to begin with, to me.
And I think the main message here is this is not sustainable. We have had tens of thousands of people in our city beautifully stand up for one another. They've showed this entire country who we are, how you love your neighbor, how you make a commitment to the greater good in society. And we have seen consistent unconstitutional practice by ICE discriminating only on the basis of, are you Latino, are you Somali, and then indiscriminate pickups thereafter. People are walking around on the street with their passports. That's not American. That's the furthest thing from it. Please take back to your respective constituencies and your colleagues the message of, if you love your own community, do not let this happen in ours.
Friends, neighbors, and members of the United States Senate and House, welcome to our capital city of St. Paul, where we are a big city but a small community. I sit before you today, a newly sworn-in mayor of a city under siege by the federal government. Right now, federal law enforcement officers far outnumber local.
Federal law enforcement outnumbers local. I'm telling you, this is a takeover. They're trying to replace local law enforcement. And if they are successful at doing that in that city, then they will be able to go into other cities and do the same exact thing. And what's happening is that they're getting such pushback from it that Trump is threatening the Insurrection Act against this and really wanting to get the National Guard involved and get and basically have this turn into a whole military fight, which is crazy to me. And is that y'all want immigration out so bad that you're willing to give up your rights for it? You want a whole civil war about this just because you want immigrants out? And it's like, and it's not even they're going to people that are, these are not no longer the people that are illegal at this point anymore. I think there's one guy. He was on time with all his stuff. I think it's from Liberia. He was on time with all of his appointments. I think he had just did an appointment. He goes back every 2 months or whatever. They still went and got him. Went through his house with a battering ram, busted down his door and got him. Why is that necessary? Why is it necessary to go through this guy's house with a battering ram when he actually literally is compliant? But just because you're just saying, oh, you can say that easily. Well, if he's illegal, well, no, everybody that's getting like hemmed up in these situations are not all illegal. Some people are American citizens, and listen, you'll say, oh, well, they only got detained for 8 hours, or they only got detained for 12 hours, or they only had to go spend the night there. Who wants to spend the night in jail or anywhere like that for doing nothing, for just walking down the street? And that's what kind of information, that's what until it happens to you. And they're not just taking these people willingly, because they're jumping out on people that are in regular cars. They're jumping out, they're grabbing people, slamming them to the ground, so they're getting injured on the way. And it's not like they're just being non-compliant, they're just jumping out. People don't even respect or understand that, okay, this ICE person, okay, you have to follow them, this is what they have, these are what the rules are of engagement with these people. Because of how crazy, you could be talking to this person and they'll just slam you down. We saw it yesterday when I played the video. The lady was talking to him, he was talking, next thing you know, he slammed her on the ground. But that's what you guys want. People want this. They voted for that. Until they slam your ass on the ground, then what you gonna say? I'm gonna finish up this video, but I want to like to really also I think I have that video up. I was gonna play that one video where I was talking about how Tim Walz was threatening to revolt against the federal agents with his own militia. This is how serious this is getting. It's like, so y'all want it so bad, that y'all want this to get to this level. Because y'all thinking, oh well, if they're illegal, that's all y'all keep saying. Illegal is illegal. Shut up.
Very simple message. We do not need any further help from the federal government. To Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, you've done enough. There's nothing more important than Minnesotan safety. I've issued a warning order to prepare the Minnesota National Guard. We have soldiers in training and prepared to be deployed if necessary. I remind you, a warning order is a heads up for folks. And these National Guard troops are our National Guard troops. They're teachers in your community, they're business owners, they're construction professionals. They are Minnesotans. Here on, I have a very simple message. We do not need any further help from the federal government. To Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, you've done enough. There's nothing more important than Minnesotan safety. I've issued a warning order to prepare the Minnesota National Guard.
We have soldiers in training and prepared to be deployed if necessary. I remind you, a warning order is a heads up for folks. And these National Guard troops are our National Guard troops. They're teachers in your community, they're business owners, they're construction professionals. They are Minnesotans. Here on, I have a very simple message.
All right, so now all this is going down. Now Minnesota, they are putting together their own National Guard, and they are ready to go at it and go to war. Donald Trump now he want to up the ante, and now he want to bring the whole United States National Guard. He say, okay, you got your National Guard. Well, I'm gonna try to do the Insurrection Act, and I'm fixing to do the United States National Guard against Minnesota. So now this whole thing is a one up in the other thing. No, you got ICE there. Minnesota is only trying to protect its own interest. You know what I'm saying? But hold on. It sounds to me like but that other states need to be thinking about how they can, is this something that can be done? That if each state has its own National Guard of people that get trained, then maybe they could be able to not have to deal with this whole situation in this way. And then now maybe ICE can actually have like some marching orders and be given some like rules of engagement. Because right now they're not operating with any rules. Again, like he says, ICE is becoming something else.
I don't think people understand where this is headed. Just using the evidence that we have, guys. Let's start with this. Start with the budget. The budget of ICE is larger than the United States Marine Corps.
The budget for ICE is larger than the United States Marine Corps, guys. So immigration is that big of a fucking problem that we need to give a budget to it as big as the United States Marine Corps? Or is it because they plan on making the whole ICE become a new law enforcement arm to replace local police force? Because everywhere that they go, they are partnering with the police forces in each city, and they're doing it through a monetary way. They're saying, we'll give you an X amount of $1 million to partner with us. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. They have no hiring standards. They're offering $50,000 bonuses to 70-year-olds. They have no age restrictions. They're giving them grade A weaponry and pumping out F grade personnel with 47 days of training. We know
47 days of training. That's it?
their F grade personnel because it was found out that Enrique Tarrio, the leader of the Proud Boys, a man convicted of seditious conspiracy against his own government, is an ICE agent. So when you ask where all those Second Amendment people went, they're ICE agents now. The people that would fight against a tyrannical government are doing the tyranny. All right. Now stick with me here. Remember when we snatched Maduro? What was that? That was a law enforcement action. They stuck DOJ personnel inside of Chinook helicopters with Delta Force and went and got them and bombed all the anti-aircraft around them and said that was a law enforcement action. Donald Trump is threatening to use the Insurrection Act, which would greenlight the military going into Minnesota. Okay, you see how this is starting to connect a little bit?
Sounds like the Trump is trying to militarize the police. And the regular police are not militarized enough, so they got to fall back. And what they do is they go in and they overpower the situation. You go in where you have twice as many people. You have twice as many militarized police in the force. And then they overpower the local law enforcement, police enforcement in that area, and then they become the new police in that area. This is what she's talking about here. Based on what they look and sound like. So they're going at the people. Remember the stop and frisk that was illegal? Now it's legal. They can legally stop. They can legally stop and frisk you just based on this. So all this stuff goes against all the laws that are local, but based on this new law enforcement group. This group. That's when I ask what is ICE, you guys are not seeing it. You think it's only about immigration, but this is about policing the citizens. Period. They can stop anyone and ask you to identify yourself. And they can just throw you in jail if they feel like it, because they had a bad day that day. They can just throw you in, and there is no they have a complete immunity, where before we would say, hey, what's your badge number and all that crap, that goes out the window now. Ain't gonna be no more what's your badge number. When ICE takes over all the policing in every area around the United States, that's what you're gonna see. There's gonna be no more what's your badge number and can I speak to your supervisor? So y'all think it's about immigration. No, that's the overlay for the underplay. What it's really about is law enforcement. Militarizing the law enforcement. Now they already started by putting tanks and stuff in the police department. They were already using tactical gear for their SWAT teams. They slowly have been militarizing law enforcement this whole time, but you haven't been even seeing it. Police forces with tanks and stuff like that. They're using grenades that should be used. Not grenades. They're using tear gas that's putting out a gas that should be that they stopped using in wartime because it was too lethal. But you guys are here for it. You guys want to get fucked up by these police. And I hope that they come and they whoop y'all ass. I hope they come to y'all steady. All y'all people that's for it, I hope they come to y'all house and they beat the shit out of y'all. People can't even go to school, you guys. So imagine you're in Minnesota, you're not an immigrant, but now your child got to be remote schooled because ICE is running through the school like a bunch of retards. They just running up into the school and just because they want to grab an immigrant. They have no. I mean, come on now. Where's the discipline? Like, okay, well we can't go to the school and get to going up in there and start attacking people and grabbing them out the schoolyard, grabbing them up off the playground. We can't go into school and grab a teacher up out the classroom. But this is what y'all want. Your child is sitting there getting taught by Miss Rodriguez, who's been an American citizen for Lord knows how long, and she now is a teacher. And your daughter's sitting in the class learning math or whatever it is. Maybe that's her teacher for that year. She's in third, fourth grade, whatever. And Miss Rodriguez, her teacher, all of a sudden she's up there and maybe she likes Miss Rodriguez. Next thing you know, an ICE agent and military guard comes in, 5 to a thing. Not only do they detain her, but they knock her to the ground, drag her out the classroom and into a squad car in front of all the children, terrorizing them. This is what you guys want. You want to get rid of immigrants so bad that this is the type of behavior you want. You're willing to traumatize your own children because you're so jealous of these immigrants and what they've been doing and whatever, because whatever your insufficiencies are. Well, we gotta worry about our own self. Well, honey, worry about yourself then. Why you worry about, you think that somebody else, you're jealous of them like they took your opportunity away. Like you tried to get a job and somebody else took the job from you because they was an immigrant and you mad. So now you want all the immigrants gone. This thing sounds so childish and ridiculous. They need to all go because I was trying to get a job at Walmart the other day and they hired nothing but immigrants. And so yeah, they all need to go. They gotta get every single immigrant up out of there. I mean, black people at this point should have been running their own businesses by now anyway. Why are we still working jobs? We should have been started being entrepreneurs and having our own business. We should be hiring people at this point. We've been in this country long enough. What is up with us? And like I said, half the jobs that these people are not even occupying anymore. Ain't nobody coming in. Y'all ain't going in to work in these jobs. So y'all need to cut it out. Any black people that's in this chat room talking about they need to go and this, that, the other, because they taking away my job and this, that, the other. Y'all need to cut it out because half of y'all too lazy, don't even want to work any goddamn way. Y'all can't hear this. Can y'all hear this? Can y'all hear the audio to the video? Hold on, let me see. It's saying that it told me that you lost the audio. Let me see. Y'all probably up there mad at what I'm saying. It told me that you lost the audio. Let me see. Yeah. The audio went out. Let me reshare. Yeah. Let me reshare it. Yeah, people be hating. That's okay. I'm only gonna play this last thing, and I'm about to wrap it up anyway. But the main point I wanted to make, is that this whole thing with ICE, what is the true meaning? What are they really doing? What is the end goal, guys? You guys can talk about how you voted for this and stuff like that until it blows up in your face. Because you don't know what these people are planning. They plan 10 years ahead of you. You think you're doing something because you done voted. I voted for you. Honey, you ain't got no control over nothing that's going on. I voted for this. Like you in the back room having a board meeting with these people and know what their plans are. These people go to different islands and remote islands and make deals that will make your head spin. And be talking about human life like it's nothing. Like it's just a collateral damage. You have no idea who these people are in bed with, why they're even doing what they're doing, whether this whole thing, what the overall plan is, but be so adamant like you think you know something. You don't know shit. And people are here, they're reacting. These people that are in the government, they're reacting to this because I'm sure that they probably got the inside scoop on something like, dude, this stuff ain't right. What's going on here?
Would be going after people who are truly a threat to our community. Instead, they are casting a wide net, scooping up residents who enrich our community, contribute to our economy, and make up the fabric of our cities and state, producing vibrancy for our communities. We are ground zero for Trump's war in America, a war on our democracy, on our freedoms, on our rights as Americans. It is in our backyard today, and it is only a matter of time before it is in yours. As congressional colleagues at the highest level of our federal government, we need you to act, to speak out, to elevate stories of what is happening to our residents. I was with my parents last night for...
See what she said? It's in our backyard right now. It's only a matter of time until it is in yours. But see, the thing is a lot of y'all people that's in this chat that's saying stuff like, yeah, I'm down. This is what I voted for, blah, blah, blah. It's because y'all ain't experiencing it. You're not going through it.
An hour talking to them, and they told me they hadn't opened their blinds in days. They were afraid that their neighbors would tell them that that house was an Asian house. That my parents have both moved all of their hospital visits, their doctor's visits to remote or to virtual because they're afraid to leave their home. That is the America that we are living in right now, where people cannot access food, they cannot access healthcare, they cannot access their basic needs because of the terror, because our cities are under siege. We need your help, whatever it may be. We are standing united and strong, but we need immediate relief for our cities. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for lifting up what is happening in our city and our state. I yield back my time.
That's what it boils down to. That's what it boils down to. Sorry about that, guys. That's what this whole thing boils down to. And this is how crazy this whole thing has gotten over time, where you're seeing like situations like this happening.
By the Minneapolis Police Department that this is an operation to recover weapons that were stolen last night out.
So now because of their clumsy work, the fact that they have been less than trained, they ain't got no training, not even left their weapons. They left their weapons, y'all. They getting such of a hush, getting so rammed because they don't have enough training to deal with the situation with the crowd. And see, the people that do got the training, like police officers, go through mob and all this other stuff training. They know how to deal with a crowd. They have all these different tactics that they know how to do. These people are just walking up in there wild, just like they just a gang, the hood, from the hood, boys in the hood, the literal hood. You know, they could put because instead of them putting the hoods on, they just got them face covers on instead of putting the white hood on. So they really going in there like the boys in the hood, but without the hood. You know, the boys with the Pooh Shiesty masks on. You know what I'm saying? Instead of the hood, but they operating like the boys with the hoods on, you know. And they going up in there, and they're getting surrounded, and everything is going crazy, and then they have to leave real quick, leave it, and they end up leaving the car with the guns. Leave the car with the guns, the papers with the FBI name on it, all that stuff. Big dummy, you big dummy.
Of ICE vehicles. So to give you a back brief, ICE, as you saw, was in North Minneapolis last night. They kidnapped a person or tried to kidnap somebody, ended up shooting him in the leg. And of course, people responded in a protest, lots of tear gas thrown. Everybody knows what happened. Well, in their haste to leave, after tear gassing everybody, they left 3 vehicles behind. Some people there.
Again, see how this happens? Now they go in. That's the same thing that happens when they go and grab someone. This is actually what the mayor was saying. They're hurrying up, grabbing people. Then they end up leaving the car. They trying to grab the person so bad because they don't have no training on how to de-escalate the situation and get what they and actually do what they got to do. And they just know all they know is smash and grab. That the person could still have the car in drive and just have their foot on the brake, and they just so want to just grab the person up out the car just they get the person out the car end up going forward and crashing up into some stuff because they too busy trying to grab the person out the car and don't tell the person to put the car in park because they don't have no training. They're not teaching them enough in 4 weeks. And they need to hurry up and get people out there. So they doing microwave training on them. That's why that's where you get a person that might accidentally shoot somebody when they're trying to drive away. Because you're in front of their car and they're trying to drive away. And not just shoot them to disable them, but shoot them in the face, blow their whole head off. That's where you get stuff like that because you don't have the proper training. And then anytime that I never heard of no police officer leave no damn police cruiser behind with his guns and everything in it. Are you crazy? Have anybody in my whole year, I'm 48 years old, I've never heard of police officers going and leaving their car behind with their guns in it, and then people being able to recover the guns and then walk through the town just with the guns up and whatever. So now they got to go and try to recover this and spend more tax dollars trying to recover these weapons because this is what y'all voted for. Did y'all vote for this? You voted for that, but did you vote for this? I don't think anybody would vote for this because this is a waste of money. Training these people, the lack of training, and now they got to double back. They got to get the helicopters. They got to come back with more people, and now they got to do a whole sting to recover their guns that they fucking ended up losing because of they wasn't prepared.
Here, looted those vehicles. That's the only word I can think to use. They broke the glass, whatever, because it's ice. Fuck them. But apparently, what I'm hearing now is they also stole weapons out of the vehicle. I don't know if that's true. That's what the Minneapolis Police Department is claiming. They're claiming that boxes of weapons were stolen from the vehicle, and they're also claiming that they know who has them, and that's what they're here to do. They're here to execute a search warrant and recover those weapons. It's ICE and Minneapolis Police Department and the SWAT team working together here. I'll give you updates as they come. All right, we got a situation developing right now on Southside Minneapolis. So you can see behind me, the Minneapolis Police Department has set up a perimeter. Let me show you. There's a perimeter right here. The Minneapolis Police Department, as well as the SWAT team, is in here. And just moments ago,
So now the ICE got to now the ICE been running rickshaw, and now they got to get the police involved because they done left their car out in the thing and people to grab their weapon. So now instead of the police taking care of the business in Minneapolis, now they got to go ahead and help ICE out because they didn't cause all this mayhem and fix their mistake. And this is what people say. This is they voted for. This is what their tax dollars voted for. This is where their tax dollars are going, y'all. Okay, shouts out. That's what you voted for. A bunch of clumsy, non-trained people to go in there and have to now get rescued by the police because they got all their guns taken. The hell?
ICE arrived. Fuck you, Nazi fucks. They've also got air assets.
Now they got the helicopters out. See this? Because they left their stuff. They're not trained. I ain't never heard the police had to go behind the FBI and go help them retrieve their guns they left on a sting or an operation. This is the most ridiculous display of amateur policing, law enforcement that I've ever seen in my life. There should be never a time that a federal law enforcement got to go to the local law enforcement to help them retrieve their guns, their rifles and pistols because they got so taken over by the people in the community that y'all lost y'all. Now this is why Trump want to do the Insurrection Act because he threw people out there that were untrained. Now he got to get the law. He got to get the real military involved, and maybe he'll send these suckers out and make them actually get some training.
Here, there's a full perimeter set up on an entire 2 blocks right here. They also have snipers set up. So the first question is what?
Snipers, helicopters, all this because they left their guns and rifles at the scene of the whole situation of whatever was going on.
The fuck is going on? Well, we were informed by the Minneapolis Police Department that this is an operation to recover weapons that were stolen last night.
Were they stolen or did you guys leave them there? Hell, that's spoils of war at this point. You guys want a civil war, then that's the spoils of war. I think this whole thing is just a big test just to see. It's interesting because even when I saw him, he has a press vest on. And then even with them, you see a person that's dressed up like ICE, but then they'll have press on their hat. So all this stuff is like really like feeding into this like political theater, psychological operation type of thing, but it's really happening in real life, but it's really kind of messed up. You know, it's interesting. I don't know if this is all actors or whatever. I don't think so. I don't think they would waste that much. That's a lot of wasted resources to do that. So And if they are acting, then the hell, that's what you voted for. You voted for people to get out there and pretend and act like they're doing something and nothing's going on. Did y'all vote for that too? Anyways, I'm about to wrap this whole thing up. It's a little bit past my 2-hour mark. I've been trying to keep these things because I've been going for 8 hours and 7 hours, and it's like really long lives. And I want to cut it down because I would like to start doing like snippets and stuff like that. So I'm gonna just wrap this one up, and we'll probably be back here tomorrow talking about the same thing. I don't know if I want to continue on this whole ICE thing. If I get some new information, something new comes out. But I think I pretty much stated what I had to say. I think this whole situation is really messed up, and we need to like figure out what the heck is going on. And if I find out if some more data comes up or some more information comes out, then I will circle back to this. It looks like the next thing is going to happen about this impeachment. That might be the next thing I do tomorrow, is go over this whole impeachment with Trump, because I think that might be a thing that we have to like really get to the bottom of, whether or not this is a thing that this is something that can really happen. Anyway, I want to thank you guys. Much love. Peace.
Just when I thought I couldn't find my way out, yeah, I searched the God in me to find my way out. I know it can seem way out, but the Creator flows to and through me from way out. I'm talking way out, yeah. See if you believe in the God in you.